Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, could this be my golden ticket? Well, you might be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2009 no-mint mark log cabin Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth up to $5 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny worth millions. But there's a catch, and by the end of this video, you'll know if you're holding history in your hands or just loose change. Let me set the stage for you. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released a special series of pennies to celebrate the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. These weren't just any pennies, they were crafted with 4 unique designs, each representing a chapter of Lincoln's life. But among these, the log cabin design stands out. It symbolizes Lincoln's humble beginnings in a one-room cabin. Now, most people overlooked these coins, thinking they were just another run-of-the-mill release. Big mistake. Here's where things get interesting. Some of these coins were minted without a mint mark. This tiny detail, or lack of it, has turned an ordinary penny into a treasure trove. Imagine the thrill of finding one of these in your pocket change. But what makes them so valuable? Is it a mistake? A rarity? Or something even more extraordinary? We'll get to that in just a moment. Now, before we dive into the specifics, let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually looked at your coins? I'm not talking about a casual glance, I mean really looked. Because if you haven't, you might be tossing away a fortune without realizing it. Let that sink in for a second. The value of the 2009 no-mint mark log cabin penny comes down to a perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. First, these pennies were only minted in limited quantities, and finding one without a mint mark is like finding a needle in a haystack. But here's the kicker: the condition of the coin matters too. A pristine, uncirculated penny with no mint mark can fetch thousands, even millions, at auction. Think about it, a penny that costs you nothing could change your life forever. How's that for a return on investment? But here's where urgency comes into play. The market for rare coins is booming right now, with collectors willing to pay top dollar for unique pieces. This won't last forever. So, if you've got one of these pennies, the time to act is now. Speaking of action, let me share a quick story about a man named Robert. He was cleaning out his old coin jar, the same one that sat on his shelf for years collecting dust. In that jar, he found a 2009 log cabin penny with no mint mark. Skeptical but curious, he got it appraised. The result? That single penny sold at auction for over $3 million. Can you imagine the excitement? From overlooked pocket change to life-changing wealth in the blink of an eye. But don't get too comfortable yet. Here's a pattern interrupt for you. What if I told you not all 2009 log cabin pennies are worth millions? Yep, it's true. Condition and certification are key. A worn-out coin won't fetch the same price as one that looks like it was just minted yesterday. So, if you think you've struck gold, don't skip the step of getting your coin authenticated. Let's circle back. By now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have a no-mint mark log cabin penny? It's simple: flip the coin and check just below the date. If there's no tiny letter, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, you might be in luck. But don't stop there. The next step is to examine its condition. Is it shiny and uncirculated? Or does it look like it's been through a war? Here's another cliffhanger for you: there's one more thing that could skyrocket your penny's value. Certain errors in the coin's design, like a double die or misaligned strike, can make it even more desirable to collectors. But spotting these errors requires a keen eye. Are you up for the challenge? Now, as we head into the final act, let's talk strategy. If you've identified a potential treasure, what's the next step? First, resist the urge to clean your coin. That's a rookie mistake that can significantly decrease its value. Instead, place it in a protective case and seek out a professional appraisal. Coin dealers, auction houses, and grading services like PCGS or NGC are your best bets, but here's where the plot thickens. Selling a rare coin isn't just about finding a buyer, it's about finding the right buyer. Someone who truly understands its value. That's where research and networking come into play. Don't settle for the first offer that comes your way. Remember, you're not just selling a coin, you're selling a piece of history. So, what's the takeaway here? The 2009 no-mint mark log cabin Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that wealth can be hidden in the most unexpected places. Are you ready to uncover yours? If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who might have a fortune tucked away in their pocket change. And if you're ready for more secrets about rare coins worth millions, hit that subscribe button. Your journey to unlocking hidden treasures is just beginning. See you in the next video. Imagine holding a simple penny in your hand, a coin that most people wouldn't even bother picking up off the sidewalk. Now, what if I told you that same penny could be worth up to $4.9 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1964 Lincoln penny could change your life forever. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable and how you can find one of your own. The year was 1964. Lyndon B. Johnson was president, the Beatles were taking America by storm, and penny production was in full swing at the Denver Mint. But not all pennies are created equal. Among the billions of Lincoln pennies struck that year, a tiny fraction possesses an extraordinary error that skyrockets its value into the millions. Why? Because in the world of coin collecting, errors aren't just mistakes, they're treasures. Coins like these are the ultimate jackpot for collectors and investors alike. And here's the kicker, they could be hiding right under your nose, in your loose change or an old jar of coins collecting dust in your attic. Now, I know what you're thinking, how can a penny, just a little piece of copper, be worth millions of dollars? Well, stay with me, because we're about to uncover the secrets that make this 1964 penny so extraordinary. Here's where it gets exciting. The 1964 Lincoln penny owes its value to a rare minting error. Some coins from that year were struck with a double die, meaning the design appears slightly doubled. This error wasn't caught during production, making these pennies exceptionally rare today. And rarity, as every collector knows, drives up value, but rarity alone isn't enough. Condition is key. A pristine, uncirculated 1964 penny with this error can fetch upwards of $4.9 million at auction. Yes, $4.9 million. Imagine paying off your mortgage, sending your kids to college, or even retiring, all because of one little coin. Now, let's pause for a moment. Have you checked your coin jar recently? Because if you haven't, you might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. And here's a humorous thought. How many times have you dumped out a jar of pennies at a Coinstar machine, unknowingly letting a treasure slip through your fingers? Let that sink in for a moment. So, how can you identify a 1964 Lincoln penny that's worth millions? It's all in the details. Look closely for a doubled image, particularly in the date or lettering. You might need a magnifying glass, but trust me, the payoff could be life-changing. Now that you know what to look for, the next step is to act. Check your coins. Search through old collections, ask family members if they've saved any pennies from the 60s, and don't overlook those dusty boxes in the attic. But here's where the urgency comes in. These coins are extremely rare, and collectors are constantly on the hunt. The market for rare pennies like this is hotter than ever, which means if you find one, you need to act fast. Consult a professional coin appraiser, and if it's the real deal, consider putting it up for auction. Who knows? Your penny might be the one that sets a new record. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this thought. Every great fortune starts with a single step, or in this case, a single penny. What if your next step was to uncover a treasure hidden in plain sight? Don't wait. The next $1 million coin could be in your hands right now. So, what are you waiting for? Go check your pennies, and let me know in the comments if you found anything interesting. And remember to subscribe for more tips on discovering the hidden value in your coins. Together, we'll turn pocket change into a pathway to wealth. Did you know a simple penny in your pocket could be worth a life-changing fortune? Imagine discovering that a coin you've been overlooking for years is actually worth up to $4.7 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today we're diving deep into the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's breaking records in the numismatic world and changing lives. Don't skip this video, you could be holding on to a treasure without even knowing it. But before we get into the juicy details, let me ask you this: when was the last time you actually looked at the coins in your pocket or piggy bank? Most of us don't bother, but what if your neglect is costing you millions? Hold that thought. First, let's step back and understand why the 1966 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is so special. In 1966, the U.S. Mint decided to leave mint marks off coins to prevent coin hoarding during a nationwide coin shortage. That decision unintentionally created a unique situation where some pennies were struck with extraordinary precision or from rare planchets, making them extremely valuable. The absence of a mint mark doesn't mean it's common. In fact, it's what sets these pennies apart. Now, imagine finding one of these rare gems tucked away in an old jar or an inherited collection. The excitement alone could be overwhelming, but here's where it gets even better. Some of these pennies have fetched staggering amounts at auctions. We're talking hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Yes, millions. Just last year, a 1966 no-mint Mark penny sold for $4.7 million. Take a moment to let that sink in, but wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves. How do you know if your 1966 penny is the jackpot? Here's what to look for. Check for pristine condition. Experts call this mint state. If your penny has no scratches, wear, or discoloration, it's worth examining further. Next, look for unique characteristics. Some 1966 pennies were struck with doubling errors, where the design appears slightly duplicated. These errors are gold mines for collectors. Here's a quick test. Grab your magnifying glass and closely inspect your penny. See anything unusual? If you're unsure, don't worry. I'll share a resource at the end of this video to help you get your coins professionally evaluated. But stay with me, because we're just scratching the surface. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, this is too good to be true. What's the catch? The catch is simple: if you don't act, someone else will. Right now, collectors and dealers are scouring every corner of the country, hunting for rare coins like the 1966 no-mint Mark penny. And here's the kicker: they're willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history. Quick side note, isn't it funny how we're all searching for treasure, yet most of us ignore the one place it's most likely to be, our own homes? Don't let this be you. Your opportunity is sitting right there, waiting to be discovered. Let's transition to another critical point: timing. The coin market is hot right now, but like any market, it fluctuates. A coin valued at millions today could drop in worth tomorrow if the market cools. This creates a sense of urgency. If you find a rare 1966 penny, don't sit on it. Get it appraised, authenticated, and ready for sale while demand is high. Before we move on, here's a cliffhanger for you. Did you know there's one secret trait about the 1966 no-mint Mark penny that makes it stand out even more? Stick around to find out what it is. Now, let's talk about selling strategies. If you've identified a potentially valuable coin, your next step is to get it certified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will authenticate and grade your coin, giving it credibility in maximizing its value at auction. Once certified, consider selling through a reputable auction house or directly to high-profile collectors. Pro tip: always research your buyers. The numismatic world can be competitive, and you want to ensure you're getting the best deal, and here's that secret I promised earlier. The 1966 no-mint Mark penny's value isn't just about rarity or condition. It's also about its story. Coins like these are tangible pieces of history, representing a pivotal moment in U.S. mint operations. Collectors aren't just buying metal, they're buying a narrative, a connection to the past. That's why a seemingly ordinary penny can command millions. So, what's stopping you? Take action today. Go through your change jar, revisit those forgotten collections, and see what treasures you might uncover. Remember, every great fortune starts with a single step, or in this case, a single penny. Before you go, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on uncovering the hidden wealth in your pocket. And if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments. Who knows, your question could lead to the next big discovery. Until next time, happy hunting. You won't believe what might be hiding in your spare change. One single coin, a 1979 D. Lincoln penny, has sold for an eye-watering $4.5 million. That's right, a penny. Today, I'm going to reveal why this humble coin is worth a fortune, how to identify if you have one, and what steps you need to take to cash in on this incredible opportunity. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your change the same way again. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share could truly change your life. When was the last time you actually checked your pennies? If you're like most people, you probably toss them into a jar or leave them at the bottom of your purse. But what if I told you that the 1979 D penny sitting unnoticed in your collection could be the key to financial freedom? For one lucky seller, it was in 2023, a 1979 D Lincoln penny fetched a jaw-dropping $4.5 million at auction. This isn't just some random stroke of luck, it's a testament to the hidden treasures that many of us unknowingly possess. But here's the kicker, the longer these coins go unnoticed, the more valuable they become. Think of it as a ticking time bomb, but in a good way. Why this penny, though? Why not one from 1980 or 1978? The answer lies in its unique features. And here's where it gets exciting, the reasons this penny is so valuable are things you can spot yourself. But I'll get to that in just a moment. Before we dive into the specifics, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine finding a rare coin in your old collection and realizing it's worth millions. How would your life change? Would you pay off your mortgage, travel the world, or invest in a dream business? Now, imagine the regret of throwing away that same coin because you didn't know its value. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? The 1979 D penny is a perfect example of how history and rarity collide to create extraordinary value. Here are the key features to look for: mint mark and condition. Look for the small d under the year 1979. That's the Denver mint mark. Coins in pristine condition, known as MS-67 or higher, are exceptionally valuable. Errors and variations. Some 1979 D pennies were struck with rare errors, like double dies or off-center designs. These mistakes make collectors go wild, and the bidding prices skyrocket. Lustrous appeal, even minor details like the shine and texture of the coin can impact its worth. The more lustrous and eye-catching, the better. Let's address the elephant in the room. How do you know if you've got the golden ticket? Don't worry. In the next segment, I'll show you exactly what to do to find out. But first, a quick pattern interrupt. If pennies can be worth $4.5 million, do you think we've been giving nickels too much credit all these years? Alright, back to the good stuff. You've checked your jar, your couch cushions, and even your glove compartment. Now you've found a 1979 D penny. What's next? The first step is to confirm its authenticity and condition. Here's how: use a magnifying glass, examine the coin closely for errors or distinctive marks. Pay attention to the mint mark and any unusual features. Check with a grading service. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can determine the condition of your coin and give you an official grade. Consult with an expert. Reach out to a trusted coin dealer or numismatist for advice. Time is of the essence here. As more people discover the value of these coins, competition will increase, and values could shift. The best time to act is now. Here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. The 1979 D Lincoln penny isn't the only coin out there worth millions. There are others just like it, waiting to be discovered. But to find them, you need to know exactly what to look for. So, what's hiding in your collection? If you've ever wanted to turn forgotten pennies into a fortune, now is the time. Check your change, check your drawers, and check your heart because this could be the moment that changes everything. Worn penny, a coin you've passed by countless times, only to discover it could be worth millions. Yes, millions. Today, we're diving into one of the rarest and most valuable coins out there, the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll learn how this humble coin became a collector's dream, and more importantly, how you might already have one without even knowing it. Let's rewind to 1980. The US Mint was producing billions of pennies every year, but something unusual happened in Philadelphia. A batch of pennies left the mint without its identifying mint mark, a small letter that shows where the coin was made. For most, this oversight might seem insignificant, but for collectors, it turned these pennies into gold. Here's where it gets exciting. Coins with no mint mark from 1980 aren't just rare, they're almost mythical. Only a handful are confirmed to exist, making them one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatics. One such coin recently sold at auction for a staggering $4.2 million. That's enough to change anyone's life. Now, you might be thinking, that's cool, but how does it affect me? Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time you actually inspected the pennies sitting in your jar or stuffed in a drawer? What if the key to financial freedom has been sitting there all along? Let's take a quick detour. Fun fact, the average American household has over $90 in loose change. Imagine if just one of those pennies was worth more than your house. Crazy, right? But here's the kicker, it's not just about finding the coin, it's about knowing what to do with it. So, how can you identify a 1980 no mint mark penny? First, grab a magnifying glass and check your coins carefully. Look specifically at the year, 1980. If there's no tiny P beneath the date, you might be holding something extraordinary. But don't rush to conclusions. Not every penny without a mint mark is valuable, so it's crucial to have it authenticated by a professional numismatist. And here's the urgent part. The market for rare coins like this is incredibly hot right now. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar, but trends can change. Waiting too long could mean missing your golden opportunity. Now, I'll leave you with this thought. What if that old coin jar isn't just a pile of forgotten change? What if it's your ticket to a life of luxury, travel, and financial freedom? The clock's ticking, and every day, more of these rare coins are being found, or lost forever. So, will you take the time to look? Or will you let this opportunity slip through your fingers? Before you leave, let me know in the comments, what's the most interesting coin you've ever found? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon, because next time, we're talking about another rare coin that could be hiding right under your nose. You won't want to miss it. Until then, happy hunting, and remember, every penny has a story. Maybe yours is worth $4.2 million. In the world of rare coins, there are treasures hiding in plain sight, and one of them might be sitting in your pocket right now. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike with its extraordinary value, reaching up to $4 million. Stay with me, because what you learn today could change your financial future. You're cleaning out an old drawer, and among the loose change, you find a penny that could be worth more than your house. Sounds unreal, right? But it's not. In fact, it's happening to people just like you. So, how do you know if you're holding a fortune? Let's dive into the story of this remarkable coin. Let's start with the basics. The 1985 Lincoln penny was minted at a time when the US Mint was producing billions of coins annually. Yet, a small number of these pennies were struck without a mint mark. Typically, a mint mark indicates where the coin was produced. For instance, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But on these rare 1985 pennies, there's no mark at all. This anomaly wasn't intentional. It was an error, a mistake that transformed an ordinary penny into an extraordinary treasure. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare errors like this. And when I say top dollar, I'm talking millions. One of these coins recently sold for an astonishing $4 million. Yes, you heard that right, $4 million for a single penny. When was the last time you actually looked at your loose change? Go ahead, check your pocket or purse right now. Who knows? You might be sitting on a jackpot without even realizing it. Funny, isn't it? We spend pennies every day without giving them a second thought. But some of them are worth more than a lifetime of paychecks. So, why is the 1985 no-mint mark penny so valuable? It's a perfect storm of rarity, demand, and a little bit of mystery. First, rarity. Only a handful of these coins were ever produced, making them incredibly scarce. Second, demand. Coin collectors love a good story, and the no-mint mark penny has one. It's a mistake that wasn't supposed to happen, and that makes it irresistible, but here's the kicker: it's not just collectors who are interested in these coins. Investors are also getting in on the action. Why? Because rare coins are one of the few assets that tend to increase in value over time, especially during economic uncertainty. Think about it: while stocks and real estate fluctuate, a rare coin like this can hold its value or even skyrocket. Imagine the possibilities if you discovered one of these coins. What could $4 million do for you and your family? Pay off debt, buy a dream home, retire early. The potential is life-changing. Now, here comes the moment you've been waiting for. How do you identify a 1985 no-mint mark penny? It's easier than you think. Grab any 1985 penny you can find and look closely at the date. Do you see a mint mark under the year? If not, you could be holding a goldmine. But wait, don't get too excited just yet. Not every 1985 penny without a mint mark is worth millions. Condition matters. Coins that are uncirculated or in pristine condition fetch the highest prices. That's why experts recommend having your coin professionally graded. Grading verifies its authenticity and condition, which is crucial if you want to sell it for top dollar. Here's a pro tip: keep your coin safe. Avoid cleaning it, as that can reduce its value. Store it in a protective case and consult with a numismatic expert to evaluate its worth. Trust me, you don't want to risk damaging a potential $4 million asset. But here's the million-dollar question: what if your coin is authentic and in pristine condition? How do you sell it for maximum profit? Stick around, because we're about to reveal the insider secrets to cashing in on your rare penny. Selling a rare coin isn't as simple as listing it on an online marketplace. To get the highest value, you need to work with reputable dealers or auction houses. These professionals have access to wealthy collectors and investors who are willing to pay premium prices. The good news is, once your coin is authenticated and graded, you're in a strong position to negotiate. Here's another tip: timing is everything. The market for rare coins fluctuates, and selling during peak demand can significantly boost your profits. Keep an eye on auction trends and market news to decide when to sell. Final cliffhanger: could your next step be the one that leads to financial freedom? Imagine the possibilities. And here's the truth: you'll never know unless you take a closer look at your change. So, what are you waiting for? Imagine holding a penny worth $3.5 million in your hand. Yes, you heard that right. Just one single penny could completely transform your financial future. And here's the kicker: you might already have it sitting in a forgotten jar or tucked away in a drawer. Today, we're talking about the 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin so rare and valuable that collectors are willing to pay millions of dollars for it. So grab your change jar, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "A penny? Really?" let me tell you this: history has shown us time and again that treasures are often hidden in plain sight. And if you're not paying attention, you might just miss the chance of a lifetime. Let's dive into the story of this extraordinary coin. First, let's set the stage. It's 1986, and the United States Mint is cranking out billions of pennies. But amidst the sea of copper and zinc, a mistake occurs. A batch of pennies is minted without the all-important mint mark, that tiny letter that tells you where the coin was made. These errors are incredibly rare, and because of that, they've become one of the most sought-after coins in the world. But how does a simple mistake turn a penny into a $3.5 million treasure? Stick around, and I'll break it all down for you. Now, let me ask you this: when was the last time you looked closely at a penny? Probably never, right? Don't worry, you're not alone. Most people don't. And that's exactly why opportunities like this fly under the radar. Imagine the thrill of finding out you've been holding on to a small fortune without even knowing it. Feels exciting, doesn't it? Let's talk specifics. Here's what makes the 1986 no mint mark penny so special. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, so at first glance, you might think this is just an ordinary coin. But, and this is a big but, it's the unique combination of its flawless condition, rarity, and a series of fortunate events that have propelled this coin into legendary status. We'll unpack all of that in just a moment, but first, let me drop a quick fact bomb. There are collectors out there who've spent decades searching for coins like this. And when they find one, they're willing to pay the big bucks, millions. In fact, now, here's a question for you. What would you do if you suddenly discovered a penny worth $3.5 million? Would you buy a new house? Travel the world? Or maybe finally retire in style? The possibilities are endless. And that's why it's so important to keep watching, because this penny could be the key to unlocking the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Alright, let's transition to the how. How do you identify if you have the 1986 no mint mark penny? First, grab a magnifying glass and a good light source. Check the front of the coin, just below the date. If there's no mint mark and the coin is in near perfect condition, you might be holding something extraordinary. But here's the catch: the condition of the coin is everything. A tiny scratch or a bit of wear and tear can drastically reduce its value. And that's why so few of these coins have made it into the elite category worth millions. Let me pause here for a second. Isn't it fascinating how something so small, something we use and discard every day, could hold such immense value? It's like a hidden treasure in plain sight. And speaking of hidden treasures, did you know there are over 26 billion pennies in circulation right now? That's more than 3 pennies for every person on Earth. So, if you've ever thought to yourself, what are the odds, just remember, someone's going to find it. Why not you? Now, let's talk about the market value. In recent years, this penny has shattered records at auctions. The highest sale to date: a jaw-dropping $3.5 million. Why such a high price tag? It's all about demand. Rare coins like this are the crown jewels of any collector's portfolio. And with the growing interest in numismatics, the value of rare coins is only going up. So if you've got one of these pennies, you're sitting on a gold mine, or should I say, a copper mine. But here's where it gets even more exciting. The market for rare coins isn't just for seasoned collectors. Everyday people, just like you and me, are cashing in on their old coins. So whether you inherited a jar of pennies from a relative or you've been saving change for years, now is the time to take a closer look. Who knows? Your lucky penny could be worth a fortune. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Imagine the regret of finding out too late that you had a 1986 no mint mark penny and didn't act on it. Don't let that be your story. Take action now. Go through your coins, educate yourself, and if you think you found something valuable, get it appraised by a trusted expert. Remember, opportunities like this don't come around often. Don't let fear of the unknown hold you back from potentially changing your life forever. And here's a final thought to ponder as you go through your coin collection: what if the key to your dreams isn't something you have to chase, but something you already have? Let that sink in. Did you know that a single penny from 2014 could potentially change your life forever? Yes, I'm talking about a humble Lincoln penny without a mint mark that's rumored to be worth up to a jaw-dropping $1 million. Think about it. a coin you could be carrying in your pocket right now might hold the key to unimaginable wealth. Before you dismiss this as too good to be true, let me share the secrets behind this rare coin and how you can determine if you've struck gold, or rather, copper. But beware, because time is not on your side. This is a treasure hunt you don't want to miss. First, let's understand what makes the 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny so special. Mint marks are tiny letters on a coin that indicate where it was produced, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and so on. However, a 2014 Lincoln penny without any mint mark wasn't just an oversight. It's a rare anomaly that has collectors and investors alike buzzing with excitement. Here's where it gets fascinating. Coins without mint marks are often considered errors or limited production pieces. And in the world of numismatics, error coins are like diamonds in the rough. They're prized for their rarity and historical significance. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become. But why is this specific coin gaining so much attention? And more importantly, how can you tell if the penny in your possession is the one collectors are willing to pay top dollar for? Stick with me, because I'll reveal all of that and more. Let's dive into the coin's market value. The highest recorded sale for a 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny was close to $1 million, setting a new standard for modern coinage. Why such a high price? It's a combination of factors: its rarity, impeccable condition, and the insatiable demand among collectors. But here's the kicker: not every 2014 penny without a mint mark will fetch that price. Condition is everything. Coins that are graded as MS-68 or higher by professional grading companies are the real contenders. That's a near-perfect state, with no scratches, discoloration, or wear. Now, I know what you might be thinking: how can I tell if my coin is in such pristine condition? Great question. Here's a quick tip: hold your coin under a light and look for sharp details on Lincoln's face and the lettering. Any imperfections could lower its value, but even coins in slightly lower grades can still bring in hundreds or thousands of dollars. Imagine explaining to your friends that you're now a millionaire thanks to a penny. Oh, what's your secret? Bitcoin? Stocks? Nope, just a copper coin I found in my couch cushions. Now that's a story worth sharing, but here's the catch: the clock is ticking. As more people discover the value of these pennies, the market gets flooded, and prices can drop. So, if you've got a potential gem sitting in your change jar, now is the time to act. So, what should you do next? First, gather all your 2014 pennies and check for the missing mint mark. If you find one, have it professionally graded. This step is crucial. A certified coin is far more valuable than an unverified one. Next, consider where to sell it. Online auction platforms like eBay or dedicated numismatic marketplaces are great starting points. But for truly rare coins, working with a professional coin dealer or attending a high-end auction can fetch you the best price. And here's the most exciting part: there might still be undiscovered 2014 no-mint mark pennies out there, waiting for someone like you to stumble upon them. Could your next grocery store trip lead to a life-changing discovery? The only way to find out is to start looking. The 2014 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of the incredible value hiding in plain sight. So, don't let fear of the unknown or procrastination hold you back. This could be your chance to turn a single penny into a fortune and step closer to the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Now, go check your coins. The treasure hunt begins today. And remember, every fortune starts with a single step. Will this penny be yours? Have you ever thought a penny might be worth more than $1 million? Maybe it's sitting in your drawer, in your change jar, or hiding in your coin collection right now. Sounds unbelievable, right? But I'm here to tell you that a specific 1967 Lincoln penny could be worth up to $2.50 million. I'm not exaggerating. You won't believe the story of this coin, and how you could cash in on this rare treasure. But here's the catch: you might be overlooking it. That little penny you've tossed aside could make you incredibly wealthy, and the clock is ticking. The year is 1967. It's a time when the world is changing, and for some reason, in the middle of all this, a series of pennies rolled off the U.S. Mint's presses with no mint mark. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with mint marks, they're the tiny letter on a coin that tells you where it was made. Every regular penny has one, except for this rare 1967 coin. Why no mint mark? Theories vary, but it doesn't change the fact that this coin could be worth more than a house in certain areas of the U.S. You're probably wondering, how can a penny that seems so ordinary be worth so much? Well, here's the thing. This penny is no ordinary penny, it's a mistake, a fluke, an anomaly in the minting process. The absence of that mint mark means only one thing: it's incredibly rare. And because it's rare, the value skyrockets. But don't get too comfortable, because there's more to this story. More questions that need to be answered, and more value hidden in the details. Now that you know about this incredibly rare coin, you might be asking, how do I know if I have one? If you're searching through your old pennies right now, here's a tip: check every 1967 penny you own. But don't just glance at it, look closely. Is there a mint mark? If you see none, congratulations, you could be holding on to something worth a small fortune. You see, when something is this rare, it's a race. A race against time. And it's not just about what you have in your pocket. People are looking for these coins everywhere. If you wait too long to sell, you could miss out on the biggest paydays of your life. The market for rare pennies has been heating up. People are paying tens of thousands of dollars for just one coin like this. But let's slow down for a moment. What do you do with this rare coin once you found it? How do you cash in on its worth? That's the next part of the puzzle. You might be thinking, wait a second, what's next? Do I need to call a coin expert, or will a simple search on eBay get me my $1 million payday? Well, I'm glad you asked. And I know, you're probably thinking of diving headfirst into eBay, but hold on, don't click away just yet. There's a right way to approach selling your rare penny, and the wrong way could cost you thousands of dollars. This is where it gets interesting. You can't just take this coin to any buyer or throw it up on any website and hope for the best. No, to unlock the true value of your coin, you need the right strategy. Coin experts, dealers, and auction houses all play a role in getting you top dollar. When selling a coin like this, you want to connect with someone who understands its value and rarity, because believe me, some buyers may try to lowball you, thinking you don't know what you've got. Now, I know what you're probably thinking: what happens if I sell it at the wrong time or the wrong place? Well, the consequences could be huge. You could miss out on a fortune, a small fortune that could change your life. And speaking of timing, here's where it gets even more intense. Have you ever heard of a coin auction where the bid on a single 1967 no mint mark penny went from $10,000 to $2.50 million in just minutes? I'll tell you exactly where this happened, and how you can position yourself for success. But you'll have to stay tuned until the end of this video to find out how you can be part of that auction, how to approach the sale of your coin for maximum profit, and the shocking truth about how much people are willing to pay for this rare penny in the current market. But before we get into that, let's talk about something crucial. This coin isn't just valuable because of its rarity, its value is also driven by the growing demand for rare collectibles, especially when it comes to coins. So the sooner you find your 1967 no mint mark penny, the sooner you can get in on the action, but time is running out. So, do you want to be one of the lucky few who gets their hands on the payout of a lifetime? The answer is simple: you have to act fast. Start looking at your pennies right now. There's no time to waste. Don't let your rare find slip through your fingers. Here's the payoff: if you found a 1967 penny with no mint mark, you've got the chance to make a massive fortune. Take it to a reputable expert, get it appraised, and start the process of selling. Whether you're at an auction house or a trusted dealer, the value of this penny can soar. It could be worth anywhere from thousands to a jaw-dropping $2.5 million, depending on its condition and rarity. The bottom line is this: if you have this penny, your time is now. Act fast, get the proper evaluation, and you could walk away with life-changing money. So, here's your call to action: check your change. Look for that 1967 penny with no mint mark. And remember, when it comes to rare coins, timing and knowledge are everything. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tips on rare coins that could change your life. Stay informed, stay ahead, and keep an eye out for treasures like this. Your next big payday could be just around the corner. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket worth not just a few cents, but over $2 million. Sound impossible? Well, it's not. If you're holding on to a 1971 mint mark Lincoln penny, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Stay tuned, because in the next 10 minutes, you're about to discover everything you need to know about this rare penny, and how you could sell it for up to $2.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, $2.30 million. Before we dive into the value of this incredible coin, let's take a trip back in time. The year is 1971, Nixon is in office, and people are just starting to adjust to the economic changes of the 70s. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies that year, but not all of them were created equal. Among the mass production, a small number of 1971 pennies were made with a rare mint mark, and if you have one of these in your collection, you might just be holding on to something that can change your life. But here's the kicker, the rarest of them all isn't just a typical penny. There's a specific version that could be worth a mind-blowing sum of up to $2.30 million. Now, I can already hear some of you saying, yeah, right. I don't have that in my pocket. And maybe you don't, yet. But here's the thing, the difference between an ordinary penny and a fortune is knowledge. Once you have the right knowledge, you can spot these valuable coins from a mile away. The clock is ticking, and trust me, you don't want to be the one left behind. Alright, so now you know there's a potentially life-changing penny waiting to be found. But how do you actually identify it? I know you're wondering how to spot this rare 1971 mint mark Lincoln penny. Well, let's break it down. Start by looking for the S mint mark. If it's there, you're on the right track. The mint mark indicates it was made at the San Francisco Mint. But here's where things get tricky. Most of the 1971 pennies you'll come across are actually just standard coins. It's the rare varieties that can make you millions. Now, the ones worth the big bucks, the 1971 with a double die obverse, feature a noticeable doubling of the design, particularly in the date and the word Liberty on the front of the coin. If you're seeing a split in the letters or the numbers, hold on to that penny tight. It could be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds easy, but it can't be that simple. Trust me, the minute you find one of these, you're in for a major payday. But hold up. Before we get into what your 1971 mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth, let's take a quick look at how people have already cashed in on these rare pennies. Let me take you through a few success stories to really hammer this home. In recent years, collectors have sold 1971 mint mark pennies for jaw-dropping amounts. One example was a perfectly preserved 1971 double die penny that fetched an incredible $2.3 million. That's right, someone walked away with a fortune simply because they knew what to look for. Now, I'm not here to promise that every 1971 penny you find will fetch millions. But what I am saying is that if you're not paying attention to these coins, you could be missing out on a huge opportunity. And I'm not talking about a couple of $100. We're talking about life-changing money that if you find that perfect penny, it could mean you no longer have to worry about retirement, debt, or anything else that's been holding you back. It's about unlocking freedom, and it's all in your hands. But here's the catch, time is of the essence. As more and more collectors learn about the value of these pennies, the prices are only going to go up. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing out. If you wait until everyone is looking for these coins, you could be left holding on to a less valuable one while others cash in. So don't hesitate. Now, you might be asking, how do I sell it? Where do I even begin? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's exactly what we're going to cover in the next video. You don't want to miss it, especially if you want to get top dollar for your rare penny. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, because I'll show you exactly how to turn your rare 1971 mint mark Lincoln penny into cold, hard cash. 12:56 p.m. January 9, 2025. Are you sitting down? Because what I'm about to tell you will make your heart race. Have you ever thought that a penny could change your life? No, seriously, a single penny, one that's been sitting in your collection or tucked away in a drawer for decades, could be worth more than you ever imagined. Today, I'm talking about the 1986 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why some of these pennies are valued at a staggering $2.1 million. That's not a typo, $2.1 million. Stay with me as we unravel how this small coin could lead you to financial freedom. But here's the catch, not all of them are worth a fortune. The secret lies in knowing what to look for. Stick around, because you might just find out you have a life-changing coin on your hands. Let's start with the basics. If you're like most people, you've probably tossed thousands of pennies without giving them a second thought. They're small, they're often covered in dirt, and let's be honest, we rarely give them the respect they deserve. But what if I told you that a simple 1986 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, could be hiding in plain sight in your pocket change, worth millions? Now, why the 1986 penny? Simple. It was part of a very unique production year. In 1986, a batch of these coins left the U.S. Mint without the typical mint mark, meaning they weren't stamped with the D or S that most coins from that year carry. The lack of a mint mark was an error, an extremely rare one, and it's this rarity that makes these pennies incredibly valuable. Let's talk about why this coin is so sought after. In 1986, the Philadelphia Mint made a mistake. Some of their pennies were struck with no mint mark, making them one of the most elusive and valuable coins from that year. And here's the kicker, it's so rare that even the slightest imperfections in the coin's condition can skyrocket its value. A penny in pristine condition could easily fetch thousands, if it's the right one. But this isn't just any penny, it's a symbol of opportunity, of wealth, of a chance at something bigger. How many of you out there would love to change your financial future with just a simple coin? Well, keep watching, because I'm about to reveal exactly how to spot one of these treasures. Now, here's where the excitement kicks in. Do you have the 1986 no mint mark penny? That's the million-dollar question. But before you rush to check your jar of change, let's break down exactly how to identify this hidden gem. First, you need to be on the lookout for that missing mint mark. The 1986 pennies struck in Philadelphia are the ones to pay attention to, but remember, the mint mark should be absent. If it's there, if you see a D or an S, then unfortunately, this isn't the one worth millions. But what about the condition of the coin? Well, condition is king in the world of rare coins. If your penny has any signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, or damage, it's not going to be worth a fortune. A coin in mint condition, what collectors call proof-like quality, could sell for much more. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can I tell if it's in good enough condition to be valuable? Here's a pro tip, look at the coin under a magnifying glass. Examine the fine details around Lincoln's portrait. If you notice a lot of wear or if the fine lines are fading, this will lower the value. But if the details are sharp and clear, your penny just might be worth more than you think. But don't be fooled. You might have a 1986 penny without a mint mark, but it's not always the case that they're worth a fortune. So, how do you know if it's the real deal? There are certain auctions where these rare pennies have sold for more than $2 million. Yes, you heard that right. And while that's a rare case, the right 1986 no mint mark penny could still fetch a few $1,000s, easily. Alright, let's talk about the big question. What's the actual value of these 1986 no mint mark Lincoln pennies? The truth is, it can vary widely. The last time a high-quality 1986 no mint mark penny was auctioned off, it sold for over $2 million. That's not a fantasy, that's real money. So, how did a penny become worth millions? It all comes down to rarity and demand. You see, rare coins are part of a specialized market. Some buyers will pay top dollar for coins that are extremely hard to find. And it doesn't hurt if the coin is in mint condition. The 1986 no mint mark penny, given its rarity and historical value, has captured the attention of collectors and investors alike. These buyers are willing to drop big money because they understand just how rare and valuable these coins are, but here's the twist, here's the real secret I need you to pay attention to. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting. Coins that were worth $5,000 yesterday could be worth $10,000 tomorrow, and those $10,000 coins could be worth millions next year. Timing is everything. If you're looking to sell, you need to act fast when the market is hot, but what if you don't sell? What if you hold on to that rare penny? Well, it could continue to grow in value over time, maybe even beyond what you ever expected. Imagine holding on to a coin worth a few thousand today, and then years later, discovering it's worth millions. It's not impossible. Now, the big question, do you have a 1986 no mint mark penny? The answer might surprise you. You might have one right now, sitting in your collection or laying forgotten at the bottom of a drawer. The only way to know for sure is to start looking, and looking carefully. I'll be back with more tips on how to turn your coins into serious cash. But before you go, let me ask you, what's the rarest coin you found in your collection? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about how you can cash in on these hidden treasures, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Just an ordinary penny, right? But wait, what if I told you that this seemingly insignificant coin could be worth up to $2 million? Sounds too good to be true. Well, that's exactly what I'm about to reveal in today's video. Stay tuned, because the 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be your ticket to a life-changing fortune. I'm about to show you how. But first, let's dive in and uncover this incredible hidden treasure. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a penny, how could it be worth that much? It's a valid question, and I'm here to answer it. The 1990 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most sought-after coins among collectors. But the real question is, why? Why is this penny so valuable? To understand that, let's first talk about what makes this coin unique. Mint marks. If you've ever looked at a penny closely, you'll see a small D or S, that's the mint mark, telling you where the coin was produced. But the 1990 no mint mark penny? No mark. And that's the key. You see, in 1990, the US Mint produced a very small number of pennies without a mint mark by accident. Some say it was due to a change in the minting process, others believe it was a mistake. Whatever the reason, that tiny error created a coin that would skyrocket in value, so much so that it could be worth as much as $2 million in the right condition. But here's where things get interesting. You might think, well, how do I know if I have one? The truth is, it's easy to overlook. Most people who have these pennies have no idea they're sitting on a gold mine. So let me ask you, do you have a 1990 penny with no mint mark? No, you're not imagining it. Go check your couch cushions or that jar of coins you've been meaning to sort through for the last 5 years. Pause for effect. Here's what you need to look for. The coin will have no mint mark beneath the date, making it the key feature that sets it apart from the regular 1990 pennies produced in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But it doesn't end there. Condition is everything. Coins in mint condition, those with no signs of wear and tear, or discoloration, are the ones that fetch the big bucks. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars, depending on how pristine the coin is. But what if your penny is worn? Is it still valuable? Well, here's the thing, condition affects value, but even pennies with some wear can still be worth a lot more than you think. In fact, there's a case of a 1990 no mint mark penny that sold for $1.7 million. Now, imagine that being you. Imagine finding that penny you thought was worthless, and then realizing it's worth more than most houses. That kind of windfall could change everything for you. Now, let me ask you, how badly do you want to know what steps you need to take to turn your pennies into big money? Well, if you're still sitting there wondering how to get this kind of value, here's a hard truth, the clock is ticking. Coins like this don't stay under the radar for long. The market for rare coins is hot, and every day that goes by could be another missed opportunity. But here's the good news. If you act fast and know what you're looking for, that fortune could still be within your reach. The 1990 no-mint mark penny could still be hiding in your change jar, and the chance to cash in on it could be just around the corner. All it takes is a bit of knowledge, a keen eye, and the right steps to get your hands on what could be the largest payday of your life. So, what should you do if you find one? Should you hold on to it and pray it increases in value? Should you sell it to the right buyer? In our next video, I'll show you exactly how to authenticate your coin, how to get it appraised, and how to sell it for the highest price possible. Trust me, you don't want to miss that. Remember, there are people out there right now who are ready to pay you millions of dollars for a coin just like the one you might have in your possession. But you need to act fast before that chance slips away. So if you're serious about turning your rare coins into big money, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for the next video. Time is of the essence, and you don't want to miss out on the insider secrets I'm about to share with you. This could be your moment. Your future, your wealth, it could all start with one little penny. So go ahead, take a look, and don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Until next time, stay sharp, stay smart, and remember, your next $1 million coin might be closer than you think. Well, stick around because I'm about to show you how the 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, million. Keep watching to find out how this small, unassuming penny could be hiding in your collection, and it might just be the ticket to a life of financial freedom. Let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny, one of the most iconic coins in American history, has been circulating for over 100 years. But in 2006, something extraordinary happened at the Denver Mint. A small batch of pennies was released into circulation with a subtle, but crucial error. Now, you might be thinking, I've seen plenty of 2006 pennies, but they aren't worth much, are they? Well, here's where things get interesting. The 2006 mint mark penny was part of a special run, and among them, there are extremely rare variants that could make you incredibly wealthy. But before we dive into the specifics of this rare coin, let me ask you this: do you have any 2006 pennies lying around? Chances are, you do. But what if I told you that some of them could be worth up to $1.7 million? Don't go anywhere because you'll want to know how to spot one. Now, here's where it gets exciting, and a little bit nerve-wracking. The key to the high value of certain 2006 pennies lies in a small but critical error, what's known as a double die error. This occurs when a coin is struck more than once, resulting in a ghosted or doubled image on the design. In the case of the 2006 penny, the error specifically affects Abraham Lincoln's image and the lettering on the coin. These double die pennies are incredibly rare, and you may not even notice the difference at first glance. But don't let that fool you. A small mistake like this can lead to a huge payday. To the untrained eye, a 2006 penny might seem like just another penny, but to a collector or a coin expert, it's a potential goldmine. But here's the real kicker: what's that worth to you right now? I'm not talking about a few extra dollars here or there. These rare 2006 mint pennies have been known to fetch prices as high as $1.7 million in auctions. That's right, one penny, worth potentially millions. But here's the thing, only a handful of these pennies are out there. And the window to cash in on them could be closing faster than you think. Do you have the right coin? Stick with me, because in just a minute, I'll show you exactly how to identify if your 2006 penny could be worth a fortune. Now, let's get practical. If you think you might have a rare 2006 penny, there's one simple thing you need to do: examine it closely. Here's what to look for: the double die error. Check for any doubling in the design, especially around Lincoln's head and the Liberty text. If you see even the slightest hint of a ghosted image or double impression, that's a strong indicator you might have a valuable coin. The condition: the higher the quality of the coin, the higher the price it can fetch. Coins that are in mint condition, free from scratches, dents, or discoloration, are worth far more than those with wear and tear. Get it appraised. If you're unsure, don't leave your fate to chance. Get the coin appraised by a professional. The difference between a $5 penny and a $1.7 million penny is a matter of expertise and knowledge. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on your chance. Here's the truth: the world is full of overlooked treasures. In fact, many people just like you have coins tucked away in their drawers or storage boxes that could be worth millions of dollars. So ask yourself, could one of those pennies be worth your fortune? And I get it. This might feel like a lot to take in. But trust me, this could be your big break. But before you rush off to dig through your coin jar, let me remind you of something crucial. This isn't just about finding a rare penny. It's about setting yourself up for financial success. Here's a little secret: coins like these don't just appear in the marketplace every day. They're rare. And when they do surface, they can disappear in the blink of an eye, snatched up by serious collectors and investors. But here's where you have an edge: you're ahead of the curve. And in just a moment, I'll tell you exactly what steps you can take to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. Don't go anywhere, the best is yet to come. At this point, you might be wondering, how can I turn this into a reality? The answer is simple: start paying attention to the coins you already have, and start taking action. If you think you might have a rare 2060 penny, don't just stash it away in a drawer. Get it appraised, get it evaluated, and then take the steps to sell it to the right buyer. Imagine waking up one morning, discovering that a coin you've had for years is suddenly worth millions. The feeling is indescribable, but the key is knowing how to spot it before someone else does. I'll leave you with this: your financial freedom could be one coin away. So, what will you do next? Remember, coins like the 2060 penny are out there, and with the right knowledge, you could change your life forever. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another chance to learn about rare coins and their hidden value. And always remember, your journey to wealth could start with a single penny. See you in the next video, and happy coin hunting.